Hello, what is up, folks? My name is Melvin.
And I'm Justin Benjamin.
And this is the Double Jump Gaming Podcast. We're going to be bringing you guys some of the news that has been going on. Right now, there's not a whole lot. There's nothing major. There's no new console news. There's no new super AAA games out there right now. So we're just going to be talking about some simple thing. One thing is going to be really huge, and I think that'll be the first thing we'll talk about because it's just really crazy to see AAA developers and companies like just do this to other things. So let's just start with that. Let's start right away. So NBA 2K18 came out recently, and some people are enjoying it, and then some are just hating on it. And the main reason is just in-game currency. In-game currency has to be done right in video games, or else it could ruin essentially the entire thing. Because now with games, they're kind of centered around their currency now.
Yeah,
they kind of are required to do things to advance into the game, and you don't really need to advance in the game to play 2K18. Like, you can basically play the game the same way, but they have a lot of things behind a paywall. One of the worst examples is getting a haircut. To get a haircut, you can't even preview it. You can't see what the haircut is.
Oh, God.
Then once you buy the haircut, you can't revert it back. You have to buy the haircut again for your character. And it's just insane. And then a magazine out there, I believe it's called 6-Axis. They gave it a 3 out of 10. They gave the game a 3 out of 10, mainly for the currency. And EA then emailed them, talking about the score. And then we don't know what other things. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. All we know is that EA did contact the website 6-Axis. And now the score is not there. It's not on the website anymore.
Okay.
The review is still there. So you can see the criticisms, but you're not going to see the score. And this has just been causing, some controversy. And I actually haven't talked about it yet, so this is going to be the first time I'm going to actually talk about it with someone.
All right, cool. I typically don't play a lot of sports games, but I can say I play a lot of free-to-play games, and in those kind of games, I can accept a pay-to-play aspect just because they have to make their money from somewhere. A free-to-play game cannot keep itself going financially and keep itself updating the game with new content if they don't get their money from somewhere. And that's why you see a lot of free-to-play games have these paying elements. But I don't see why a game that's a AAA game at that makes a lot of money, and the price tag for the game is, I'm going to assume, $60 on right now.
It is $60.
I don't see why you need to include a pay-to-play aspect on a game that already costs $60 to pick up. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's even worse than day one DLC, in my opinion. Having that just persists throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I think freemium aspects, again, people have been calling it freemium for a long time because it's around games that are completely free to play, and then to get some sort of elements, either getting far into the game or getting like new different costumes or new characters, then you have to use money or just keep playing the game for a long time to actually get that in-game currency. And
is it completely like, I don't know exactly what entirely entails this like currency? Like, is it to buy new teams, or is it like entirely like cosmetic and like other stuff?
I think it's mostly cosmetic, but what makes it very annoying is that you have to play, for certain things, you have to play hundreds of games just to get certain items, certain simple items that before you didn't really have to play as often just to get. I don't remember what all the stats were for all the games, but it was just insane. And 6-Axis Gaming called it out, and then EA contacted them, and now the score is not there anymore. And, I've been seeing more, like, I remember seeing freemium aspects in the new Shadow of Mordor game, and people were criticizing that too.
Yeah.
And I do have some criticisms on it, because why are you giving a $60 price tag if you're going to add this freemium type of currency? I understand DLC. DLC is fine, buying certain things is fine, but the freemium economy is made for games where getting the sort of the revenue relies solely on that type of currency. Like League of Legends, you can play that game completely for free. There's no strings attached. The only thing is, if you want new characters or you want new skins, then you have to, purchase the or you have to purchase them individually, or you can use your in-game currency, which does take a long time. But again, you don't have to buy anything else if you don't want to. The choice is completely yours.
Right.
But we have to pay the $60. You have to pay. Like I would not have a problem if 2K18 came out with two different versions, where one game was like, oh, you can play the game, but it's the freemium version, where it's like, oh, you have to do this to unlock certain things, and then had a $60 version where you can just play the game without that type of currency. I would not have a problem with that.
I'd be fine with that.
And I actually don't have a problem with most freemium currencies, because usually if a game is bad, it's going to be bad, and you can just tell. Like,
right.
you know, I play a lot of games on my phone, and some of them are just really, really bad. Then they're never going to get my money, you know?
Yeah.
I can download it, play the game, and it's just not going to get my money. And then there are some games that are actually really good. I forgot the game, though. It was the same people who made, like, Clash of Clans.
Oh,
it's like a different version of it. I forgot what it's called. I don't have it on my phone anymore. It's on my tablet. But it's a really fun game, because it's like I don't know, it's really competitive. You don't have to like pay to keep playing,
right?
But you do have to pay if you want to like keep getting the chance to have like higher level, like I guess minions or something like that to play against your team. So you can essentially keep playing the game. You're just going to have the same team formation over and over again.
Right.
And sometimes that can be boring for people. But they give you the option. You never have to spend money if you don't want to. And some people feel like spending $2 at a time to advance through the game a little bit faster. Some people say that's worth it. And if that's worth it to you, you know, more power to you. I think that's fine. And sometimes this economy can work well, you know, like for League of Legends. I have friends who always play League of Legends. They play nothing else.
Definitely.
And they sometimes think it's worth it to just buy the in-game currency and buy the costumes or buy the new hero, because they love the game so much. And when you love a game and you can support it without paying $60, I think that's great. I think that's like a great way to support developers.
See, one smart thing for the MOBA Smite that they did that I really liked is it's a MOBA like League, and with League you have, if you want to get every single champion in the game, you'd have to spend probably upwards of like $300, $400. Smite, you can buy it's called the Ultimate God Pack for $30. You get every single god in the game, and then every new god that gets released, you get on release. Otherwise, people have to wait like a good week or two to be able to play them.
I think that's I actually have the Ultimate God Pack.
Right.
And they came out with another game called Paladins.
Yeah, Paladins.
Which is kind of like Overwatch. And I actually bought the thing because I really don't like the grinding aspect of unlocking one hero at a time. I rather just give them money so I can enjoy all the heroes. But some people they don't like that. Some people they're like, oh, I don't think it's worth the money, and that's fine for them too. They get to enjoy the game. They get to do whatever they want, and it's completely your choice on how you want to play the game. So those developers, Hi-Res Studios, they do an excellent job to me in terms of the freemium market. But 2K18, that's a completely different game in a completely different environment. And they're trying to add freemium aspects in there, which I think is ruining the gaming industry, and it's going to keep ruining them.
Right.
So this was bringing up a whole different can of worms, which I didn't even know it was going to do. And that is, if there's one thing that a game does bad at, are you allowed to give it a bad review? Are you allowed to give it a horrible negative review? Like, let's say the gameplay of 2K18 is just phenomenal. You know, people love like, oh wow, I've never played it, so like, oh the net physics looks so realistic or something like that. Like everything is just polished. Everything else is perfect except for the freemium mechanics. Are you allowed to give that game a bad review?
I feel like it's in the reviewer's rights to give it whatever they feel. Like, I understand that. I mean, for me, that the freemium aspect would pretty much be game breaking for me. Like, I wouldn't want to sink so many hours in the game just to get stupid little cosmetic items. That doesn't seem worth it in my opinion. I'd give the game, like, I don't know if I'd just give it a god awful review, but I definitely deduct it from, like, let's say a 9 out of 10 to like maybe a 6 or a 5 out of 10. That's a stupid idea in my opinion. To just like here's a good example. If you want to get you can buy dunks in the game, like special dunks. If you want to get Michael Jordan's signature dunk, that's 75,000 in-game currency, which costs $25. $25.
That to me, that's criminal.
Yeah,
that is honestly criminal. I don't that should never be like. I understand if you want to like unlock it. If that was like no higher than like $4, I would say that's fine.
Right.
You know, honestly, like $4, because that's chump change. Honestly, $4. People can find a way to get $4. But $25, like what game were you were playing a game? I just saw you playing a game just recently. And I know it's old, but it's like $10.
Oh, Risk of Rain?
Yeah, Risk of Rain.
Oh,
That's $10.
yeah, $10.
And then like Undertale is $10. And like so you can get like two amazing games for $20 and still have like $5 to spare. I don't know what kind of games are on Steam for $5, but I'm sure you can find something. So yeah, like it's just I don't know where they come up with these prices. I don't know where these AAA companies expect anyone. Maybe they are getting money. I've seen Assassin's Creed do it. I'm seeing Shadow of Mordor do it. I wonder if Call of Duty is going to do it anytime soon in World War II. I bet you they will. I bet you they will. You know, I haven't seen. I don't know any other companies that have been doing something that shady recently. I don't know if you know any companies that have been doing it.
Something that shady? Not really. I mean, there's a few indie game developers on Steam that have been doing, like, if someone gives their game a bad review, they'll just straight up delete the review instantly off of Steam. But typically that's when you'll go on this discussion forum on Steam and you'll just see people writing, oh, these guys deleted my review. Make sure everyone go on and just give it a god-awful review.
That's the great thing about being able to review a game, because you get the power to do these certain things. You get the power to you know, kind of dictate the success of a game. So you shouldn't piss off your fan base. So
definitely,
that's insane. So you know, let's keep going on the train of 2K18, because there is something else that's going on with them. But it's more of Nintendo's fault rather than 2K18's fault. It's a little bit of 2K18's fault, but it's a little bit. I would blame more on Nintendo. So
I don't know if I actually heard about this.
So the Nintendo Switch, if any of you don't know, it comes with horrible storage space, only 32 gigabytes.
Oh god.
And for even 720p gaming, you need more space than just 32 gigabytes.
To put this in comparison, I downloaded a game yesterday that was about 70 gigabytes. You wouldn't even be able to download that game on a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, like I know for a fact that all Call of Duty games, like at least of recent years, are around the 40 to 50 gigabyte ratio. So it's like it's insane. So if you wanted to download the game without getting like the physical copy, you're out of luck. But then here is the insane so like NBA 2K18 oh my gosh. So the save file for that on the Nintendo Switch, and this is also getting the physical copy. So regardless of getting the physical or digital copy, it's 5 gigabytes. The save file. The save file is 5 gigabytes.
What are they saving?
Like, it is insane. I have to blame, like, part of the blame has to be on Nintendo for this, because like, oh man, this is a sports game, by the way. Like,
yeah,
this is not like, I don't know what the next new huge. I hope Doom is not like this, because I know Doom is coming out on Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah.
Soon. So I hope the save files aren't like that. But it's 5 gigabytes, whether you have the physical copy or the digital copy. It's 5 gigabytes for the save file.
That's ridiculous.
And the Nintendo Switch, even though it has 32 gigabytes, the OS itself, the operating system, it takes up a few gigabytes. So that means you only have 25 gigabytes of free storage.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And I'm trying to look up the entire save. But here's the thing. It's partly NBA 2K's 18's fault, because they could have. I heard. I don't know if this is true or not. So this could be false for what I'm saying, but apparently they had the option to get a bigger storage cart for NBA 2K18, and instead EA was going cheaper and they went for the 16 gigabyte one instead of for the 32 gigabyte SD card. So that could be their fault. I am completely not sure. I don't know. But I'm still going to put the blame on Nintendo. They should have seen this coming. They should have had some sort of something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're just getting to the 400 gigabyte territory for micro SD cards, but they're expensive. They're extremely expensive. They're gonna run you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I know the 256 gigabyte micro SD card is easily over $100. It's insanely expensive. So just to save your games, it's not as bad as like the Vita before, where it was their own custom a card, and that like 64 gigabytes was like $100, but it's still pretty bad. I have to say it's Nintendo. I don't know what they were thinking. I know with their first party games, they usually keep the storage files like extremely small.
Yeah.
Like I think the new Mario Odyssey is only like around 5 gigabytes.
Really?
The whole game is like 5 gigabytes. So Nintendo and themselves do an excellent job of keeping their storage files short. But again, they can't. They need to rely on third-party games. They need to rely on them, and they're not always going to follow Nintendo's rules. They're not always going to do the same things that Nintendo are doing. So I really do think Nintendo dropped the ball on this, and I don't know how it's going to affect them in the future. Like, this could be a game-changing thing for Nintendo. Like, I know they're currently on top. They just outsold the PS4 this month. Yeah,
wow.
they just did it just recently, and it's great to hear. It's so great, but I don't know if this is going to affect them in the future as people are buying more and more digital games. Right. I'm actually someone who used to not buy digital games. I used to be someone who would always buy physical, but now I'm sort of switching into the digital.
That's how I used to there was a good satisfaction for me to be able to like hold the game disc and like have a physical thing in my hand, but at the same time, I don't have to drive over to like Walmart or someplace and buy it. The other day I was just sitting on like my PS4 like homepage and I was like, look at all these games I can just literally just download right now.
Yeah, that's the first game that like made me say to myself, I'm probably going to start buying digital games more often. Was Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS. Like before, I was considering like maybe I want the physical cartridge because I want to keep that forever. But then I was saying to myself, this is a game I want to play as much as possible. I don't want a game where it's like, oh, I'm trying to beat this game that I bought, but I want to bring Super Smash Brothers. I just want to keep that on my 3DS at all times because I know I can play that whenever. If I have 5 minutes to spare, I will have that. And I don't regret the decision at all. Nice. I love having it always on my 3DS. If I can't sleep for some reason and I just want to play a game to just like calm me down or something, I can just open up the Switch. The 3DS. I can open up the 3DS and boom, it's right there. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to do anything special. So yeah, I feel like Nintendo has to encourage more like they have to encourage the digital. Mm-hmm. I know Nintendo has been known for being like these just like they're more traditional, I guess. That's the best way to say it in terms of how they do their style. But I feel like they need to sort of switch things up. Oh my god, that's a pun now. They need to change things up in order to get in the game. With PS4 because PS4 is like the PS4 Pro. It comes with nothing lower than a terabyte.
Oh yeah, I got a PS4 for a new game coming out on Friday, Gundam Versus, and I think it's a terabyte of storage.
Mm-hmm. So that's great. That's great. You can buy a lot of games. I know PS4 games are going to start going up in size, but it's still a really
it's a good chunk. You can download a lot of games.
It is really good. So I'm glad to see that, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of redesign in the future for Nintendo Switch.
If they want to be able to more people to download digital games, they have to. If they want people to be able to download their games,
there's no other choice for them. But yeah, it's funny how something as simple as 5 gigabytes takes up like if you have 25, that's like 1/5.
No, that's a fifth.
That's 1/5 right just to save a game. So that's something very, very insane. Now I don't know if you have anything.
Right, since we're running low on time, we should probably switch over to a new topic. I think it was just a couple of days ago. Microsoft decided to release Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4 are now all backwards compatible on Xbox One. So if you have any of those games, physical copy for Xbox 360, you can pop them right in, or you can literally download any of those games for free. I'm not entirely sure if Halo 4 is for free.
Oh, it's free?
I know for a fact you can just download Halo 3, all the DLC on the Xbox One now.
That's great. I feel like more gaming companies need to do that. Like if there's like a really good game, but it's just like super old, like just give it out for free.
I've been seeing a lot of like YouTubers just going on Halo 3, and they're like, I feel like for me, like in case none of you knew, yesterday was actually Halo 3's 10th anniversary. Like it came out 10 years ago yesterday.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I remember picking up the game a month after release back when I was. I would think I was 10 or 11. And it's just weird. Like I don't have my Xbox 360 on me anymore, but it'd be weird just going on Halo 3 right now and actually just seeing the game like populated because I've been going on the Reddit.
Oh, the online servers still?
Oh yeah, the online servers still work for the
great.
game.
That is phenomenal. I'm glad to hear them do that.
The only thing like that, I'm really glad they're doing this because sure, I enjoy Halo 5, but Halo 3 will always hold that special place in my heart. It brought me and a lot of people together. Like you could just go on matchmaking and you just get random invites from people being like, "Yo, you want to do a custom game lobby with me and my friends?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." and you just go on there and have fun playing, Trash Compactor, Fat Kid, all those classic custom games. There were so many custom games on Halo 3 that were just phenomenal. That was one of the things I think Bungie nailed on Halo 3 was it had a really simple. Okay, I shouldn't say simple. If you want to do the really crazy map stuff, you had to glitch the game out a little bit. But if you wanted to create some like really cool maps, it wasn't too hard to do. Halo Reach definitely expanded upon that, but Halo 3 was definitely the starting point.
Oh yeah, no, I loved playing Halo 3. Like I never had an Xbox 360, but I always had friends who had an Xbox 360. That was like the console of my area.
Oh, definitely.
So like I was always able to play, with friends, and I was always able to like. I'm not good at Halo at all. I'm not really that good. I'm not really good at any like first-person shooter when it comes to being competitive. But like I definitely admire how far is Bungie, right? That's the name of them.
Yeah, but so 343 took over Halo recently, but Bungie
did the first.
Yeah, they did the first three up until Reach.
Yeah, how far they went with the story,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't feel like any games really do that anymore, where they like kind of go far in like a lore, especially for first-person shooters. I don't feel like they do that. So seeing a first-person shooter be so developed in like its story and like really trying to like be its own original thing, like I love seeing that, and I like to see more. And the fact that they brought up 2 classics or 3 classics actually, like 3 classics for any Xbox One fan to play, that's great. I feel like right now in this generation, Xbox One is making the smartest decisions in terms of their fan base. Like the first year was rocky because the Kinect, but then after they got rid of the Kinect, they've just been making a lot of really good decisions, making things backwards compatible and things like that, and making the consoles a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable. So that's I think is really great.
And real quick message to Microsoft, PC Halo 3, please.
Yeah,
all I ask for, all right?
Yeah, Windows 10.
It doesn't even need Windows. Like, just release it on Steam.
Yeah, just
please.
do that.
And then have workshop support. That'd be literally, you could just mod the game however you want. Like, let's face it, I doubt anyone would. I mean, I'd still play Halo 3 online on Steam, but if I were to get Halo 3 on PC, it would solely be for modding the game and then just having ridiculous custom games. That'd be the sole reason I would get on PC.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I wish more of that would happen, but. So I'm just going to get to 2 more things really, really quick, just because I feel like they're important. So Red Dead Redemption 2 got delayed. It was supposed to come out this fall, and it didn't. So now it's going to come out, I think, next spring. I don't even think they said anything. I think they said early 2018. So there's no news on that yet. That's disappointing. It's not, and I can't even play it because I don't have any of the new consoles. I don't have.
It's disappointing, but hopefully they can make the game even better in that time. That like.
I think the reason why this was like speculation, but I heard online that because they're probably working on GTA 6 right now, that the same people who work on that are working on Red Dead Redemption 2. So it's just it's just like hard to manage the time with those 2 big games trying to come out. So that I think is understandable. As long as the game comes out and it's good, I really don't have any worries. Yeah. Like I trust Rockstar. And then if you want to get the original Xbox controller, you can. There is I don't know what company is out there making it right now, but they are able to remake the models for the original Xbox controller.
Really?
So I don't know if you ever held one in your hand.
They were weird to hold, I'll be honest.
They only had 2 shoulder buttons. They didn't have 4 like the PS2. The other 2 buttons were black and white. That was insane. Yeah. I've never seen buttons that didn't even have like letters or symbols. It was just black and white. That's so weird.
I had a PS2 as a kid, and I remember I went over to my cousin's house, and I was holding the Xbox controller, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" Like I was trying to play Halo 1 on the Xbox, and I'm like, what do I do with this thing?
Yeah, basically, you could tell that a lot of game developers at the time were focusing more on the PS2 controller than the Xbox controller. Because there were some games where it's like, if you played them on the Xbox, it was worse to play them because of the controller.
Definitely.
So, it was great. That's all we have for today. And
all right,
hopefully we can come back more with some news for you guys in another time. But with that said, I'm Melvin.
I'm Justin.
All right, and until next time.